Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, it's your boy Cosmic, and in this video we'll be making a infographic view of the improvement that I made for Doctor Doom and see if this improvement really fits him or not. I made this infographic improvement myself based on what I think should be improved and buffed in regard to Doctor Doom in terms of his damage and survivability. So because Doctor Doom is not really good for anything, for PvE or PvP for that matters. He totally sucks for PvP. Like actually, Deadpool, who just came out just recently right now, is still performing so much better than him, which is very embarrassing. And they're just 2 weeks old difference. It's 2 week difference between Doctor Doom's uniform and Deadpool's uniform. So we're gonna be making a look at this infographic that I made that I think would buff Doom perfectly and fits him perfectly. That will buff his damage and survivability and makes him compete in PvP with most current metas because he does not compete with any meta at all. So let's jump right into it. So the first infographic is this. Yeah, let me just turn it upside down like this. Yep, that works better. So this is basically what I did for his second skill. I took off the debuff removal from his second skill. He had a remove all debuffs for 1 second. It's actually a really bad buff, and I'll explain to you why. The debuff removal on his second skill, the current debuff removal that he has on the second skill, it overwrites the debuff removal that he has on his leadership. Okay, so his leadership gives him 12 seconds of debuff removal, and when he activates his second skill, he applies that 1 second debuff removal that completely overwrites the leadership's debuff removal. So that's really not helpful at all. It's a really bad thing. Extremely bad. It's not really helpful. So I took that off, okay, and instead I gave him the targets, the ignore targeting's targets for 6 seconds. This allows Doctor Doom to have iframe ignore on all of his skills for 6 seconds. And I made it specifically for 6 seconds because Doctor Doom has very long animations on his 5th skill and on his 4th skill and on his 3rd skill. They're so long, they're really long animations, and it doesn't help if I make it like 4 seconds, because initially I thought if I make it just 4 seconds it will fit a lot better, but the more I think about it and look at how his animations play out, the more I think that it's a lot better if I give him like 6 second iframe ignore than 4 seconds. That way he can chain his 5th skill. If he gets cancelled out from his 5th skill, if he gets interrupted from his 5th skill, he can go to his 4th skill or his 3rd skill, depends. Okay, so I think this effect on his second skill that gives him iframe ignore on all of his skills for 6 seconds works perfectly well with him, because his animations are way too long. They're very long animations, and give him a short iframe ignore on all of his skills for 3 seconds, it's not gonna help his case any better. It's not gonna make him deal any damage. It's not gonna make him attack at all. So it's just gonna let him stand still without doing anything at all. So yeah, I gave him 6 seconds on his second skill. 6 second iframe ignore on his second skill. That's the one thing that I've changed on his second skill. Moving on, the next buff was on his uniform effect. Basically the uniform effect, I left it as it is. The only thing that I did was basically give him pierce damage increase, pierce damage decrease, and ignore the enemy damage decrease by 15%, okay, excluding bosses. This lets Doctor Doom deal enough damage and take less damage, because let's be real, he's not dealing enough damage in the game. Okay, he's not able to take out Adam Warlock or Jean Grey, which is embarrassing. And these two are 2 years old uniform. Well, Adam Warlock is 1 year old and Jean Grey is like 2 years old. Okay, so the damage decrease from reflect effects it's helping him a little bit against Silver Surfer, but he's not dealing enough damage to Silver Surfer. Okay, he's not dealing any damage at all. So I gave him pierce damage increase. Okay, 5% pierce damage increase. That really helps him, increases his damage substantially, right? Substantially enough to take out tankier opponents. And I gave him the ignore damage decrease by 15%. That way helps him out to take out those enemies who have insane amount of damage reduction and insane amount of defenses on their kit, such as Thanos, such as Jean Grey, such as Silver Surfer, such as what's his name, Sentry, okay, such as Wolverine, okay. Yeah, I gave him that, and I gave him a 25% pierce damage decrease, because let's be real, Adam Warlock, Sentry, Thanos, characters like Madame Pryor, they all have 5% pierce damage increase. Oh, also Adam Warlock has also 5% pierce damage increase. They have an insane amount of damage already on their kits. If you add the 5% pierce damage that they have on their kits, they'll become a 30% pierce damage increase, and it will literally shred Doctor Doom to pieces. Doctor Doom doesn't stand a chance. And I think Jean Grey also has pierce damage increase on her uniform effects. So I gave him pierce damage decrease that will help him survive a lot more, because he doesn't have any survivability. His survivability is shit. It's garbage. It's not really helpful. He already has a 40% damage reduction right here on his uniform effect. He already has 60% damage reduction from reflect effects. Okay, but these two are not enough. He still gets absolutely clapped by Silver Surfer. Literally, like genuinely, he still gets absolutely shredded by Silver Surfer. So the damage decrease, the pierce damage decrease, is gonna help him a lot better. Maybe I can give him 15%, maybe you could lower it down to 15%, but I find 25% fits a lot better, mainly because he doesn't have enough damage reduction. Okay, the damage reduction is not really helping him. This 40% damage reduction is not really helping him enough. Okay, and a lot of characters right now in the PvP meta, they all have 5% pierce damage on their kits, so they're already at a huge advantage. So I think for a character like God Emperor Doom, okay, these changes that I made on his infographic will help him survive a lot longer. Okay, the only survivability effect that I gave him was just the pierce damage reduction, and the effects that gives him damage increase are the pierce damage and ignores enemy damage decrease by 15%. Those are the only changes that I've made. Those are the only changes that I think would help him a lot better in PvP. Okay, I did not change his skills, the effect of his skills. I did not add anything on his skills at all, except for this: the ignore targets, ignore the targets targeting. No, excuse me. There's so much target in this one sentence. I gave him the ignore targeting targets on his uniform skills, on his second skill. Dude, I wish I could get a penny for every time I say target. Damn. Yeah. So I gave him the iframe ignore. Let's just say iframe ignore. I gave him the iframe ignore on his second skill that applies to all of his skills for 6 seconds. All of his skills will have iframe ignore for 6 seconds. That will help him chain his attacks, because his attacks have, the animation of his attacks are so long. They're too long, and it takes so much time. He takes so much time in his animations. So yeah, I find this a lot better. I find this really helpful for him, and I think these effects that I've added, the pierce damage increase, the pierce damage decrease, the ignore damage decrease by 15% excluding boss types, is gonna help him even better for PvP. So yeah, I really think these changes are gonna help him. I targeting these buffs that I think personally will make him a lot better for PvP. Okay, because let's be real, in PvE he's not doing anything. Let's just make that very clear. In PvE he's not doing any damage. He's not really good for anything in PvE. He's not meta for ABX, he's not meta for ABL or Boss Legend. He's not really doing very much. GBR is a joke right now. Nearly any any level 80 character can take out GBR right now. Yeah, I think these changes are perfect for him. I think personally these changes are gonna make him a lot better for PvP. It's gonna make him outstanding in front of Thanos, in front of Sentry, in front of Adam, in front of Jean. Because let's be real, if this uniform, who is just about a month old, is struggling against a 2 years old Jean Grey uniform, then that's embarrassing. Jean Grey is literally able to clap this dude bad. She's able to one-tap him. At one point, she was able to one-tap him in the videos that I've made. A level 80 Doctor Doom struggles with Jean Grey. A level 80 Doctor Doom struggles with Adam Warlock. A level 80 Doctor Doom struggles with a year-old Wolverine. Like, it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It really is. It really is. Madeline Pryor, who's like, she came out in February. Yeah, she's like, I don't know, 6 months? 6 months? Yeah, she's like 6 months old, and she's a lot better than Doctor Doom for PvP. Like, that is just embarrassing. Truly, it really is. So I really hope the developers would watch this video. Really hope the developers would consider these buffs that I think would work better for Doctor Doom. I genuinely think they will work a lot better for Doctor Doom and make him so good for PvP. It will make him very balanced for PvP, not too OP, but not too weak. So I just made it on this level of consistency where he's going to perform at a very high level, but he's not going to be completely broken. Okay, we don't want another Sentry. Let's be real, Sentry is way too broken. Way too broken. Okay, let's make this very clear. Sentry, nobody, I repeat, nobody's going to dethrone Sentry from PvP. Let's just make that very clear. Nobody's dethroning Sentry from PvP. He's way too broken, okay? So we don't want another Sentry, okay? We just want a very powerful PvP character, but not too powerful that he's just gonna be a big of a problem like the Sentry is. Okay, we're good enough with the 1 Sentry. We don't need 2. So yeah, that's the video, guys. Those are the buffs that I made, in my opinion, would work so much better for Doctor Doom, for his PvP performance. And I really hope you guys share this video out there for the developers to watch it, so you can take a look at this consideration that I've made and actually buff Doctor Doom, because he's not good. He's not good for anything. This is a native tier 2 character that you acquire when you buy an epic quest. This is a 6,600 crystal. He's a really expensive character. On top of that, you spend 1,500 crystals for his uniform. Okay, that's 8,100. That's 8,100 crystals for a character acquisition and a uniform acquisition. So the cost is insane. On top of that, he's a native tier 2. You know what I'm about to say. He is expensive. Super expensive. So yeah, share this video out there, guys. Let the developers know about this. Make sure they see these buffs that I made personally, and hopefully they'll listen this time and actually take my words into consideration to make it work for Doctor Doom. And yeah, I hope for the best. I really hope that Doctor Doom gets buffed again. So yeah, we're just gonna wrap this up right here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, so help the channel grow, and hit the notification ring bell so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming videos I'll be posting on this channel. Join my Discord server, the link is in the description box below, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care. Peace.